All right, so this is Charles Thomasson and Brandon Hayes. I am a Century 21 agent with the professional group out of Ocoee, and this is Brandon Hayes from FBC Mortgage. Hi, Brandon.
Hi,
How you doing today?
doing great, doing great.
All right, so we're going to talk about the first-time home buyers and programs that can help them and kind of the steps that go through first-time home buying. There's me. There's Brandon. So, steps to buying your first home: getting pre-qualified, searching for a home, offers, which can be a lot, an inspection, which tells you what's wrong with the house, and different types of loans have different inspections. We'll go over that. Land survey, appraisal, which is the last chance you really get to negotiate for a home, and then closing day. So, pre-approval. Is that everything you need, Brandon, for pre-approval?
I mean, to start, yes. As long as the buyer is a W-2 employee. If you are self-employed or 1099, it could vary, but this is typically the
Bare
baseline for.
bones.
Yeah, yeah. This usually can at least get us started in a good general idea on everything. So.
All right. And what's next? Searches and offers. So the best thing the reason we get pre-approved is to know your budget. I don't want to show you a $500,000 home when you can only buy a $350,000 home. Know your area. Know where you want to be. And if you want to be in a specific neighborhood, we got to be ready to go. Be patient. If you want to be somewhere specific, I will farm that area to find you a home in that neighborhood. If you see a home, always call me. If you see something that's you want to see, let me know and be ready to sign your contracts. In the current market we're in, there's multiple offers. I've sent clients a contract at, I don't know, 1 or 2 in the afternoon and wouldn't get it back till 1 or 2 the next day. It's a standard contract. It never changes. If you want a blank one, I'll send you one and you can read it for hours. But we have to be ready to go. Oh, inspection, survey, and appraisal. So inspections are what's working, what needs to be repaired or replaced, and what needs to be repaired or replaced soon. So if you have a dishwasher, it's working, great. If you need to repair it or replace it soon because it's getting a little older, my appraiser, or not my appraiser, but my inspector will tell you that. If it needs to be replaced today, he'll tell you that too. That also gives you a chance to make sure you know what you're buying, and that's what the survey's for. So one of the homes that I was going to list one time, a guy called me out to show some vacant land. And when I got out there, another homeowner met me and said, look, when this guy passed, the county just cut these parcels out. The parcel was actually cut it straight through the man's home, and a different guy owned the other parcel where half of his home was. And an appraisal makes sure you know what your loan is worth, or what you're buying is worth what your loan is. So I've had, especially in the last couple of years, appraisals come back a little high or a little low, and we've had to either make up that difference or renegotiate the end of the contract. And an appraisal is going to make sure you're not buying more house than you can really afford. What else we got? We got loan types. Brandon, here you go.
Yeah, I mean, these are the typical standard loans that we see in the process. A lot of first time home buyers either go with the conventional loan, typically between 3% down or 5% down is really, if we go the conventional route, or the FHA. 3.5% is the minimum required for FHA. You do have closing costs, your prepaids, and those just vary from house to house. If you are able to go the VA route, as well, that is a great option. With the zero down payment on the VA loan. So really, once you get everything in your application in and documents, I'll review everything and match you up with the best option if it's, conventional FHA, VA, or if we need to go, other routes from there.
All right, so we're gonna actually dive into the FHA a little bit. So
Yep.
it is
So
3.5% down. What's the lowest credit score you've ever actually seen get approved for an FHA loan?
I've had one in the 550s actually, but we have to have mitigating circumstances to be that low. Either a larger down payment, a larger, good amount of reserves. Just there's got to be usually, mitigating factors, even at really at like the 580 to the 620, just depending on, what your overall credit profile looks like. You might necessarily need to put additional down or have a co-signer, in that 580 to 620 range on that. So it's definitely possible even into the, mid to low 500s, just really depending on what your total loan profile looks like from that. Best case scenario, you want to be at that really like a 640 plus will be the easiest route, but we can definitely work with options, lower than that.
And don't FHA loans let you have a higher debt to income ratio than regular conventional loans?
They do. You typically, depending on the loan profile, we could go up to 57% debt to income ratio on an FHA loan, where on a conventional loan we can go only up to 50% on that. So,
and the FHA appraisal is a little more strenuous than the conventional loan, so it makes sure you're buying a better quality house. Is that a better way to put that?
yes and no. There's different things where they're checking to protect to make sure that you're don't have to have the roof replaced in the first year you're moving in, or there's any concerns for possibly getting hurt on the property if you have a steps and walkway up to your front door and there's no railing. They're going to want to a railing put in on that, or just electrical outlets, like your panel box if that's uncovered, or things, just really the safety concerns is what FHA looks out for.
All right, and here's the big one everybody loves, is VA loans. I actually heard one time that there is no minimum credit score for a VA loan. I don't know if that's true.
That is actually true. And there's also actually no loan limit in a sense. Again, it comes down to your loan profile, what your certificate of eligibility looks like, how many times you've actually used your VA benefits to purchase a home, and things like that. But it's more sense on your overall credit worthiness versus like credit scores and things like that. So the residual income does play a big factor into all of those. So that's what allows the lower credit score and or the large loan amounts.
All right, and it's only available to veterans.
Yeah.
And a conventional loan, which generally requires a little bit higher credit score than a FHA loan, but it can allow for a lower down payment because we don't necessarily have to be at that 3.5, and they're a little bit more lenient on what you're buying, right?
Correct. 100% correct on that. You will want to have a higher credit score typically, because the rate and the MI factor, the mortgage insurance will be quite a bit higher on the conventional loan if you have a lower credit score. But overall, the conventional loan is great because you actually then get to have the mortgage insurance removed, the private mortgage insurance removed once you actually get into 20% equity in the property, where on an FHA loan that sticks with you on the life of the loan. But then the only way to get out of it from an FHA loan is to refinance into a conventional loan when you do have that that 20% equity in the property. So, usually I recommend a conventional loan if it's out the gate, if you qualify for that. But FHA is still a good backup option to have if we can't go the conventional route, because really any option is better than continuing to pay rent. So
Right. All right, and then closing day. So I'm gonna do one of these with a title company too, to kind of let everybody know what a title company actually does. But you'll be signing paperwork, waiting for the funds, because once you're signed, Brandon will actually have them sent over before closing's over, and I will hand you your keys. All right, hold on real quick. I want to, it's gonna end the show, but we're gonna go back to Brandon. Brandon, what do you have going on for programs right now for home buyers?
so there's the Hometown Heroes program for the state of Florida. It's a great down payment assistance program. It is a minimum 640 credit score. You do need to be a first-time home buyer. You do have to work a minimum of 35 hours a week, and your job has to actually have a physical location in the state of Florida, or it has to be the company has to be registered in the state of Florida as its main location for business on that. And what that actually offers is 5% of loan amount up to $35,000. They actually purchase a discounted interest rate for you versus what the standard rates are currently. And that's it's just a great program to help those first time home buyers get into their first house. It does also have household income limits that you don't have to meet, and some other items, but it's a really great program that I believe will fit for a lot of people out there. We have a couple hundred other different loan programs and things like that, different variants of each out there. So really we can find an option for just about anybody out there, depending on their criteria. We also have currently through June 30th that anybody that goes under contract with us, starting 6 months after they close up to 24 months after they close, we'll do a zero closing cost refinance for them, where we'll actually cover all of the refinance costs for them on during the refinance when rates are actually lower for them. So this way you could actually get into the house you really want to be in now. You might have a little higher payment for a little bit there, but you're going to save quite a bit on the zero closing cost refinance, and you're not going to have to actually once the floodgates open with lower rates, you're not going to have to worry about all those multiple offer situations where you're having to pay $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 over asking price. So it definitely is a good option to help you get into a house right now.
All right, thanks, Brandon.
Yep.
Let's do real quick rapid fire. So we already went over one, but let's do it again. What was the lowest credit score that you've ever seen approved?
It was in like the low mid 500s on an FHA loan. So it's definitely possible. As long as we have 2 of the 3 of it'd be credit, assets, and income. We can find as long as we have two of those 3, we can typically find a loan solution for you.
And what's the lowest percentage of down payment you've ever seen? Because everybody thinks they need 20% or 10% down to buy a house.
Yeah, I mean, it's typically around 3% on a conventional. Some people put 5% down. But you as a first-time home buyer, you can definitely go the 3% route. FHA, minimum is 3.5% on that. So the 20% down, it doesn't necessarily make sense, especially on your first home purchase. Sometimes it's better to keep that money actually liquid, and instead of tying it all up in equity into the property. People are always worried about PMI, but on a conventional loan, really, putting PMI, let's say the house is $400,000, you're putting 5% down, you're looking at $20,000 down. You might carry PMI, depending on your credit score, let's say $60, even $70 a month. You're looking at $840 for the year to carry the PMI, but you're keeping $60,000 liquid in your pocket, that's easily accessible for, investments, or, emergency funds, or just updating your new house, if you like, for that. So it's pretty inexpensive to go that route.
And just in case everybody wants to know, Brandon actually handled my mother-in-law's loan, and we're sitting at the closing table, and it was funded before we even got through signing all the paperwork.
Yeah,
So,
one thing we've been doing on closings is we call it a hybrid closing, where you'll actually be able to e-sign a large portion of your closing documents ahead of time, and then you're signing the most important ones actually at closing with a wet signature. So it frees up a lot of that time and punishment on your wrist for all those signatures, and then the wire funds typically are there before you even get to the closing table.
all right, Brandon, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Have a good day, buddy.
You too.
Bye.